Do you want to make a good screen-accurate Darth Vader costume? Don't make the same mistakes I did. Hey there everybody, and welcome to SoCal Sith Lord. My name's Dylan, and I'm in the process of creating a screen-accurate Darth Vader costume. And I want to give everybody advice on what not to do, like what I did, to avoid expensive mistakes. My first mistake, Rubies Supreme Edition Darth Vader costume. Don't do it. So in this video, we're going to do an overview of the basic costume and why it's not good if you're trying to create a screen-accurate costume. If you're going for 501st approval, it'll never work out without serious modifications. It isn't even geared towards a specific Vader. In case you didn't know, Vader looks different in every film, but we'll dive into that in a different video. So with the Rubies Supreme Edition Darth Vader costume, they weren't quite sure with what movie they were going with. It came out at around 2005. That means most of the parts look like they come off of Revenge of the Sith. If that's the Vader you want to make, it is possible, but with a lot of do-it-yourself work. So here it is in all its glory. As you can see, it's a decent costume. You're gonna be the hit of the Halloween party, but that's it. But that isn't our goal, is it? Our goal is to be Vader. Now the helmet's based off of Return of the Jedi, but it's a little weird. The dome doesn't quite sit right. It sits a little bit too high this way. It shows your neck, which you can fix. Also, the mouth vents, they go, how do they go? They go vertically instead of horizontally. Also, the lenses, they sit on the outside of the mask versus the inside, so you kind of get this weird bubble look on it, looking a little bug-eyed. So here we are with it. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the bottom of the face mask above the dome. Imagine if you're wearing that. That's all your neck right there. We'll just go down from there. So the next is the chest armor. Whereas it looks all right, but it's very thin, you know, it looks like plastic. The grays aren't the correct grays. They're supposed to match the same gunmetal gray as the helmet. And for some reason, they decided they wanted to put the cape chain on the armor, which is the incorrect cape chain anyways. And they have the cape hooks on the armor, which is not accurate. So now we'll talk about the cape. The cape is too thin. It's that cheap Halloween costume material, I don't know, polyester or whatever. It's too thin, you can see through it. It's supposed to be satin lined, you know, so you have that nice sheen on the inside of it. And also, if you were going for Revenge of the Sith, it wouldn't be the right cut. It's cut in a 3/4 circle as opposed to a half circle, how Revenge of the Sith is. With Revenge of the Sith, it sits off the side of the shoulder armor right here, versus how it's cut, it hangs about right here. I'm not going to pull out the cape, it's too big, I wouldn't be able to hold it anyways, and I don't know if you'd even be able to tell on the camera. So that brings us to the inner robe. The inner robe is what goes under the armor, and now that is going to be the same material as the outer cape, which is still that same thing. It is passable depending on the liaison that approves you, but I would say just to replace it anyways. So now we'll move down to the chest box. The chest box, I already did some modifications on this because I thought maybe I was going to use it, but I realized it's too far. For me, I couldn't do anything with it. The lights are the wrong way when it comes. The red light's on top, it's supposed to be green, and it's not supposed to have that rough finish. I don't know if you can tell there how it is. Also, the flashing pattern is way too fast. It looks like Vader's on crack. It's too small both ways. It needs a repaint. This rocker switch needs to be translucent if you're going for Revenge of the Sith. It's just not good. Also, the straps need to be leather for all versions of Vader, except for Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith, it did go through this leather suit so you don't see any of the straps. Now here are the gloves. The gloves are a pleather material that doesn't breathe, so you end up with a pool of sweat in your fingers. So you could put holes in the end so it could drip out. With all that being said, they're not accurate for any of the Vaders. They're not the right shape. The gauntlet part is not the right thing. The stitching is not correct. Now for the bodysuit. It's a pleather material. It is approvable for most versions of Vader because a lot of it is hidden. Now the biggest drawback on it is it's very, very hot. Very, very hot. So this is one of the salvageable pieces from the Rubies. So now for the belt. It comes with a little, almost like a backpack strap that obviously is not going to be movie accurate, and it has a little foam piece that everything kind of sits on. Obviously that's not going to be accurate for any Vader. I replaced the belt that came with it because it's like a foam piece that is connected with like a backpack strap and a buckle in the back, and I figured if I got an actual belt, I went to the Goodwill and got a belt and put it all on that. And now for the belt buckle. This is plastic. In all the movies, they're metal. I've heard that maybe in Revenge of the Sith it is resin, cast resin, but I mean, metal works for it. But it's very thin. The belt boxes are inaccurate as well. They're much too small to be used for any version of Vader. You can get by with modifying them. The bezels around the lights are too much, and the knobs are too small, and they need to be repainted and need to be more accurate. Now the next piece is the cod piece, aka the space diaper, if you don't get it correct. Now this is actually not too bad for Revenge of the Sith. It's not approvable for any other Vaders besides Revenge of the Sith. And now going down from there, we have the shin guards, which are approvable for almost every Vader, depending on your liaison in your garrison, your 501st garrison. They're not approvable as is. So all in all, the Rubies is not the way to go if you're seeking screen accuracy or 501st approval. Although I'm glad that I did purchase it because I was able to find out further information about the Sith Lord detachment, which helped me on my journey to the dark side, creating this screen accurate costume. There's such a wealth of knowledge on that website. The Sith Lord detachment, I will link it in the description. Go there, make an account, introduce yourself, meet everybody. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you go there, and everybody's very helpful there to help you out because, like you, at one time I didn't know anything about Vader. So if you or a loved one have been diagnosed with obsessive Vader disorder, please let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you bought a Rubies Supreme Edition Darth Vader costume and you want to get approved to the 501st Legion. And also let me know if you already are approved. I'd like to talk to you and figure out how you did it and how you went through with everything. So that's it for the first portion of this video. I'm gonna try to post a video weekly. I'll go a lot further in depth on things and the different aspects of everything eventually. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you do, hit the bell icon. That way you know every time that I post a new video. And remember,
I find your lack of faith disturbing.